Welcome to Plain, the podcast where we soar into the skies of knowledge and explore the latest development in healthcare and wellness. I'm your host, Benadetta Numbo, and today we are flying into the critical topic of heart failure. Joining me on this journey is our special guest, Precious, who brings invaluable expertise and insights to the conversation. Together, we will navigate the complexities of heart failure, discussing its causes, symptoms, treatment, and many more. So, back up and get ready for an informative and engaging flight into the world of healthcare. Let's take off and explore the vital information you need to know about heart failure, right here on Plain. Welcome, our guest Precious.
Thank you so much.
Today we are to discuss the topic of heart failure. Before we look into it, may we please discuss this? What is it?
Okay. Heart failure.
Yes.
Maybe in a single term, we might say it is a condition. Okay. To define it, we may say it's a primary weakness of which the heart is unable to pump blood throughout the body. So that is the clear definition of heart failure.
Okay, then for a normal person to live, the blood must be pumped to all sides of the body.
Exactly.
Which means that this has an impact on a human's health.
Let me explain in this way. It's like our body is made to live through a fuel known as blood. And that blood is made to reach each and every part of our body. But it has nothing to use for its movement. So it rely on the power, on a certain power. So what generates that power to drive that blood to reach all areas of the body? That's the heart. So it's like the heart is an engine that pumps that blood to reach whatever part of our body that is. So indeed, it is having a great impact that is to human health. It's made to live through a certain fuel known as blood. Yes. And that blood, for it to reach each and every part of our body, it needs a certain force. Okay. So that force to be generated is being generated by the heart. So the heart is been working as an engine that drives the blood to reach all parts of the body.
Okay.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, then this might have been in different categories. What are the types of this thing?
Okay. As it has been already said, that heart failure, we're talking more about the failing of the heart to do its work. That is the work of pumping blood. Now, as we can go deep into the anatomy or the structure of the heart, we see that the heart is being divided into two major parts. That is the left hand side and the right hand side of the heart. Now, it means if the heart is having those two parts, then the blood also moves around the heart through those two main parts of the heart. So it might happen that the problem is in the left side of the heart, or the problem is in the right side of the heart. So because of that, the heart failure is being divided into the left heart failure or right heart failure. So that is according to which part has been affected. So in short, we have right heart failure and left-sided heart failure. So that is.
So this right heart failure is the one that has affected the right ventricle. Is it what you are saying?
Okay. What I'm trying to mean is, for the heart failure to be categorized as a right heart failure?
Yes.
It means the problem is in the right side of the heart. For the heart failure to be classified as the left-sided heart failure, it means the problem is in the right side of the heart.
No, it must be in the left. You are saying that if it is to be called lefty heart failure, then the problem.
Yeah. So that is yes, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So as everything must have something that made it to be there. What causes this thing so-called heart failure?
Okay. Heart failure. What makes the heart to fail to its work? That's a good question.
Yeah.
All right. There are of causes. There are a lot of causes of heart failure. One of the causes, it might be congenital. So when talk of congenital, it's like something genetic. It's like when you are born, you're born with it. That is the congenital cause. So we got a lot of them, but just take note that we have the congenital. And in the other hand, we have some other. Yes.
So that is the definition of congenital. It means something genetic.
Yes, genetic.
Okay.
Like you were born with it.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Some other causes, it might be coronary artery diseases. Coronary artery diseases. So maybe there might be questions. What does it mean when talk of coronary artery diseases? Okay, so when we talk of coronary artery diseases, mostly we talk of those diseases that affect heart muscles. We know our body is made of different vessels. Those blood we are talking about, they do move through vessels. Now, the heart also comprises of those vessels, and those heart vessels, they are known as coronary vessels. Now, because those vessels have been classified into arteries and veins, so those arteries that are present in the heart, they are known as coronary arteries. Am I clear there?
Yes, you are.
Now, if those coronary arteries have been affected or there is a blockage in those coronary arteries,
yes,
that's where the problem comes. That means if the vessels are there for the blood to pass and there is a blockage in those coronary arteries, it means the heart won't be able to pump blood because there's a blockage in coronary arteries.
Yes, that's clear.
So at the end, there will be that problem of what we call heart failure. That is due to coronary artery disease.
Okay.
Sure.
What about other causes? Or are they, for example, diabetes? Can they cause this?
Diabetes, we got diabetes, high blood pressure. Okay, maybe on the part of diabetes, it is also another cause. But maybe people out there might be asking, how can diabetes cause that is heart failure? Yes. Now, when talk of diabetes, it's about sugar level in the body or in the blood. That means our body or our blood comprises of more sugar than the limit. Now, if sugar or the glucose level increases in our body, that sugar or that glucose becomes what you call as part of poison. Okay, it becomes toxic to that is heart muscles. Now, because that sugar is now toxic to the heart muscles, it means they are going to be damaged in the heart muscles now. At the end, heart failure occurs. That's how it causes. On the part of blood pressure, that's the increase in the pressure. It means there's a certain limit of which blood has to move. So if there is increase in the blood pressure, that means our blood in the body are moving at a high speed. Now, as the speed increases, it means the heart is on high pace, or there is more work on the heart because blood is moving more fast, then it will need the heart to pump that blood fast as well. Okay? So as that process continues, then the heart muscles become tired, and then they become dilated. So that dilation, that dilation, by what leads to what we call the heart failure now.
Okay. For, of course, to know that this problem I'm facing is heart failure, you need to identify the symptoms of that particular disease.
Of course.
Then what are the symptoms that can help a person know that this disease might be heart failure?
Okay. There are a lot of symptoms that we might suggest that this is heart failure upon seeing them on a certain person or a patient. Now, most of the times, patients present with the dyspnea. Okay, dyspnea. That is ceasing in breathing. And also there might be swelling. Some people do swell in the legs. And there is what we call a sort of dyspnea, of swelling, and there is intolerance. It's like if after a person might walk maybe 5 meters, then you say something like that. It means a certain person is exercise intolerance. Things like those. Confusion is there. Confusion because blood is not reaching enough. The heart is not pumping enough blood, and those blood are not getting to the brain in enough content. Then the brain gets confused. It's like the person become confused because it's like the brain is lacking something. Hope you understand that.
Yes, I have understood.
So those things might also be there. General fatigue might also be there because the body is not receiving enough energy since blood is not enough. So there might be general fatigue. But the most is what you call the dyspnea and the swelling. That's the most signs and symptoms that we see in a patient having heart failure, as well as what we call the orthopnea. Okay, orthopnea is a medical term whereby it means someone having respiratory distress just when he or she is lying down. When you lie down, then you don't breathe properly. It just demands you to sit upright. So that's what we call the orthopnea. So it's also another sign and symptom of heart failure. We might see it in a patient having heart failure. That is.
Okay, you have expressed that the heart failure may sometimes not allow a patient to lie down. Or I also believe that it might also cause irregular heartbeat. What might be the effects of this?
Okay. There are a lot of effects.
Yes.
Most of them, or the most, is what we call kidney failure.
Yes.
There might be kidney failure. Kidney fails.
How?
A patient present with kidney failure. Okay. How? In everything that we eat, it goes to kidney. That is for purification.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the blood tissues need to reach to kidneys, but it is not reaching. What will happen? It's like, let me explain in a way that you understand easily. Okay, when talk of kidney failure, it has been classified in about 2 to 3 categories. We have pre,
yes,
in,
before,
and the post. Okay? It means the other problem is because the blood is not reaching, that is the before, okay? It's not reaching enough to the kidneys. And the other problems of which they are in, those problems are in. So the problems here that might come due to heart failure, they do come as a pre-problem. That means they do come before reaching the kidneys. It's like the electrons, the urea and electrolytes, they might increase because the pumping of blood is not enough. So the electrolytes, the urea and electrolytes, they might increase in the kidneys because the purification is not being done. So as the process goes, the kidney might get failed as well.
Okay, understood.
All right.
For this problem, do you just wake up and find out that you have been affected by heart failure, or it starts little by little?
Okay. As you have seen earlier on the part of the causes of heart failures, one of them is what you call diabetes.
Yes.
And hypertension. So if you go deep into these two things, there are a lot of things that start suddenly. They start gradually. In the other ways, heart failure is a chronic disease. It starts little by little, and you realize them after a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then assume someone has been affected already by this disease. That person, is it possible for that person to be treated, or it's like the farewell to his life?
Okay. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. People get cured, but I should not say that people get cured. Okay, here in Malawi,
yes,
we say people get cured, of course.
Yeah.
But the main treatment for heart failure is surgery. That is heart replacement,
which can't be afforded here in Malawi.
That's exactly. We can't afford that here in Malawi. But we do some other things just to reduce the symptoms of which we see why do we do this. Okay? There is no treatment for this condition. But why do we do this and that to a patient? So some other things of which we do and some other drugs we give to patients, not to cure, though patient may say I'm cured, but it's not really like that. So we just do those things just to give a relief for the symptoms that the patient may have. For example, if a patient is swelling on his or her leg,
yes,
we give drugs that may reduce that swelling. Doesn't mean that one is being cured. That is from that condition. But we have just relieved him or her from a certain symptom. So that's exactly what we do on the treatment, on the part of the treatment of heart failure in Malawi. So, what do we do here in Malawi?
Yes.
Maybe before we go that side, we should see medically or at the hospital setting, what do we do for us to realize that the patient, because it might happen that a certain person is having the exact symptoms or the presentations with heart failure, but it might happen that it's not heart failure.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that we just go straight to treatment of heart failure. It might be that it's not heart failure. So there are different investigations that we do for us to verify or to confirm that it's heart failure or not. So what do we do? There are a lot of things that we do. First of all, we do what we call the chest X-ray. Yeah, we go for chest X-ray, whereby we look into the heart, how the heart is. So most of the times, there's heart failure. Most of the time, the heart gets enlarged. That's what we call the cardiomegaly, where the heart gets enlarged, and we do what we call the cardiac echo, echocardiography, there. Sometimes we do what we call LFTs. Okay, LFTs is about the kidney or what we call the electrolytes imbalance, electrolytes balance. So we do all the things to verify either it is heart failure or not. So after we have verified that yes, maybe through cardiac echo, radiography, or LFTs or the X-ray, we have confirmed that this is indeed heart failure. That's when we go to the part of the management, now the treatment. For treatment, we've got head of drugs that we do. We give the patient. But mostly, we look into the causes of that problem. If the problem is there due to high blood pressure, then we manage the blood pressure. Okay. If the problem is there due to diabetes, then we manage the diabetes. Meaning, once we manage those things, then we are managing the heart as well. On the part of the drugs, we give some other drugs, for example, furosemide. Furosemide is a drug. It retains fluids. Okay, maybe I should say in the other way. If somebody or a patient having heart failure is having swelling on maybe feet, because we have said that one of the symptoms of heart failure is the swelling on the feet. Yes. Now, that swelling, it means there is a return of fluids. I want to clarify here in a simple term. Okay, when you say fluids are being retained, it's like blood together with other fluids moves from the veins and it reaches into the water, into the right side of the heart. Okay? Now, if there are problems here in the right side of the heart, it means those blood or fluids are not won't progress from the right side of the heart to the left side of the heart. So what will happen is like, instead of going forward, they'll start moving backward. Yeah. So as they move backwards, that's when you see having swelling in the feet. Made it clear?
Yes, so clear.
Now, those drugs, furosemide, they go and they remove the retained fluid. As a result, the person now becomes stable, meaning that the swelling is removed now. Okay. So that's some of the drugs that you give to those patients.
Which means that we must prioritize that way of prevention is better than cure when it comes to this.
That is exactly. We have to prevent because we never know whether you are going to get cured or not. Even if you get cured, but still some complications are there, or there might be recurrence because it's like the problems are there. That is. Now, I think it's good that we should prevent the problem rather than search for the cure. That is.
Okay. Then we are saying that the prevention is better than cure. Then someone might be asking, how would I prevent this thing of heart failure?
Okay. Great. For a person, for everybody, or each and every head, or each and every person, to prevent something, I think we must be able to know what causes that thing. If we know that heart failure has been caused by what we call the hypertension or high blood pressure,
yes,
it means we should preserve all the measures that you may use to prevent high blood pressure.
Exactly.
That is reducing salt intake. If we may reduce salt intake, it means we are preventing high blood pressure that may also prevent heart failure. We should not take more fats because those fats, cholesterol, they may block the coronary arteries, leading to heart failure. As well as doing exercise, we have to do more exercise. As we do exercise, we increase the blood flow in the body. Not high blood pressure, but at least our blood are able to circulate. Thereby, the chances of coronal blockage are just minimal. Then we prevent heart failure.
Okay. What about the diet?
I've already mentioned of cholesterol and salt. Okay? Mm-hmm. It means we should not take the diet of that is the more fat diet. And also we should not consume much salt.
Like we must consume how much content of salt and how much content of fat per day?
Okay, maybe on the part of the figures, I can't be clear on that. But what I know is, what I can say is, we should take a minimum salt. We should not take that too much salt. We should at least at a good point that this is good level of salt. And in terms of cholesterol, or that is fat, of course, on the part of content, but mostly we talk of the type of fat we should take. There is what we call the saturated and unsaturated fats. So what we have to take those what we call unsaturated fats. That's what we're supposed to take. So they are good. In the day, you can say, oh my, I'm a food also like the goma, those fats. That's what we should take. They are mostly from plants. Those fats from plants. That's what we're supposed to take.
Okay. I understand stress might be the cause of the heart failure as well.
What?
The stress.
Stress also causes heart failure. If you may ask how stress causes heart failure. Okay, heart failure, as already said, it's not like something caused by something directly. It's something or a condition mostly being caused indirectly by. It means it is there because of some other conditions. What I'm trying to mean is mostly heart failure is there due to diabetes, those things, hypertension. Now, as we draw much onto the diabetes, we'll see that diabetes rises much if there's much stress. What does that symbolize? It symbolizes that if you are stressed much, then you increase the level of your blood pressure, which is hypertension now. Then increasing hypertension will directly lead to what? To heart failure. That's what it means.
Okay. What are the advice you can give to audience about this thing of heart failure?
Heart failure is just a very dangerous condition, of which in Malawi we cannot afford. As already said, the main treatment is the surgery. That is heart replacement. Now, here in Malawi, we cannot afford. So, I think the very best way is that we as people, as citizens, we are reliable in different areas. For our country to progress, it needs us to be energetic and healthy. So, I think it's good for us to prevent. We should avoid those things so that we should not get into contact with the heart failure. For people, they tend to drink, maybe according to what we have discussed here, we have never mentioned about smoking, drinking, whatever.
Yes.
But those things are very, very dangerous on the part of heart failure. They also contribute on those things. But what we call the COPD, once a person is taking much cigarettes, then he or she may develop the COPD. That COPD leads to what we call the heart failure. So, let we as citizens
Mm.
avoid, because prevention is better than cure. And we Malawi, as a nation, we don't have enough resources for us to do heart transplant.
Okay, thank you, our guest. Thank you until we meet again.
Thank you so much for your contribution. I think next time we'll do the same.
Yeah. To our guests, thank you for being with us when we are exploring a topic of heart failure. Until we meet again, bye.
Bye.